Hello and welcome, this is Roofamonger, and this is my 7 essential tips for Samurai Shodown. So I'm making this on the day that Samurai Shodown is coming out, so if you're looking for more information, more guides, do check the channel because I have several other videos to help you out with Samurai Shodown. I just want to help you out with some quick tips here to get you started, and let's start with the first tip. So the first essential tip I have for you is really find out what's safe and what's not. So one of the big appeals of Samurai Shodown is stuff like this. Big single hits that really take a massive chunk out of your health bar, right? Like, it's very satisfying and you definitely want to do it, but there is one issue. These styles of moves tend to have a lot of clash back. And as you can see here, when I successfully block it, and this isn't like a perfect block or anything, right? It's just a regular old block. You can see how the enemy character is just like kind of blown back, you know, with the recoil, and that is very punishable. So, generally speaking, this isn't a hard rule, but just as a kind of rule of thumb, if you do a heavy and you block it, you can punch with a medium. If you do a medium and you block it, you can punch with a light. So a lot of the big, meaty, chunky hits tend to be not very safe. And of course, you know, like special moves and stuff, they tend to be not safe anyways. But when you're just going to poke people and all that kind of stuff, just keep in mind that even a basic attack, like the stand heavy, can be not terribly safe. Now, of course, there's exceptions to every rule, and there's certain characters that can get away with it. Like right there, even though this is punchable, it's not perfect timing. If you're a little slow, you won't get it. But just keep in mind, a lot of your biggest attacks, your biggest, meatiest, chunky hits are not safe to do, so you either want to do them in punish situations or situations where you truly believe you're going to get it either via mind games or spacing or whatever have you. They are the signature moves of the game, to be sure, but they're also some moves that will get you killed if you don't do them correctly. So for our second tip, I want to talk about the guard break system here in Samurai Shodown. So you might otherwise just call this throws, right? So the guard break here, the throw, it doesn't do damage in and of itself. But what it does do is it lets the enemy not be able to defend themselves, and then you can give them a quick little tap here and do some damage, right? And I'm here to tell you, besides the obvious difference of switching sides, there's actually a difference between the forward and backwards guard break. And that is that the backwards guard break actually gives you more advantage than the forward one does. So for, say, the forward one here, I can get a medium, but I can't get a heavy no matter what I do. Like, no matter what I do, I can just really crank on that button here as fast as I can. No matter what I do, I just can't get a stand heavy off, right? But if I were to back throw them, I can. As you can see, it's basically near frame perfect for Ruzhong, specifically anyways, but you have a few more frames of advantage on a back throw. So what was not possible at all with the forward throw here, we can actually get with the back throw. So generally speaking, you are opened up to more damaging setups with the back guard break than the forward guard break. So keep that in mind. For our third tip here, I want to talk about weapon drops and the fact that you can actually manually drop your weapon. So normally getting your weapon kind of ripped from you is almost a worst case scenario, as you know, your weapon's what makes the magic work in this game, right? But if you're just simply looking to style on people, you can hit down, medium, heavy, and kick at the same time, and you will manually put your weapon down. You can pick it up whenever you want, and you can put it back down whenever you want. But yeah, if you're just looking to style on people or something like that, that is totally an option. Also, for some characters like Darlie, Darlie has a move that is only possible by taking your weapon off, and as you can see, it does, you know, 1 or 2 points of damage, right? So while it is mostly style adjacent, you can do your big stuff, and plus, you know, it's basically the closest thing you're going to get to a taunt in this game, as this is the best way to disrespect someone. Also, as something I just got to mention, if you're Ruzhong here, if you disarm yourself here, she loses her glasses, she's all like, hey, where are my glasses? Are they here? Are my glasses over here? And, I don't know, that's just the coolest thing. I love that. So our fourth tip here, I do want to talk about the Rage Explosion. So it's fantastic on like a million levels here. You know, the Lightning Strike attack's really cool. It'll give you Rage whenever you want it on demand, so you can access your weapon flip super and the bonus damage. It's even a combo breaker, right? Like, you can just go Rage and say, no, screw off. No matter what hit you're taking, as long as it's not a throw or a cinematic super, you can just say, no, I don't feel like taking it. Your combo's over, right? So these are all amazing, fantastic things, but one thing about it is the explosion, which makes the combo breaker part work, is unblockable. And as you can see here in the explosion, you also knock people backwards. So you can create a lot of weird little setups here. So I'm using Rujiang here as an example. So she has the traps here, and if the enemy walks into the trap, you know the trap will go off, that kind of thing. So if you're ever in a situation where the enemy is between you and your trap, you can rage explode and it'll just go off. And then you can create some pretty big scenarios here, because once again here, if you're in rage explosion, you always have access to weapon flip super. So you can do something like this. And they just have to take it, right? In that specific scenario, oh my god, he's got so many swords. In that specific scenario, you are not able to deal with that pushback. You have to take it. It's guaranteed, right? And he gets pushed back in the trap, and since he's being pushed back and not blocking, the trap will go off, and then you have enough time to combo after the trap. So this is just one example of many to be found in the future, I'm very sure, of using the Rage Explosion as an offensive tool purely for the push. So for our next tip, I want to talk about chip damage. So this game, just like, you know, pretty much any given fighting game here, you block special moves and like you'll take a little bit of chip damage. This game, being the throwback that it is, chip damage does kill in this game. So if you take your last bit of damage in chip, you will die. End of story. Most modern fighting games, they try to avoid chip death. Even games that still have chip death, like say Mortal Kombat 11, they give you multiple outs with the last breath mechanic. This game, you take chip and it was going to kill you. That's it. That's all. You're done, right? And so I got these two characters just to highlight here, Earthquake and Kyoshiro, because they both have specials that do a lot of chip. So these are characters that are actually quite good at getting the chip kill, as they can do a lot of chip here, as you can see. Like, that's fairly substantial. That's not nothing, right? You almost think you didn't block the move with the amount of damage you're taking, right? So when you are low health, watch out. Or conversely, if the enemy's low health, hey, go for it, right? Because chip is a factor in this game. So for tip number 6, we're actually going to harken back to tip number 1. It has to do with the recoil on the big moves. So the thing here is, you know, you do the big move, you get blocked, you're going to get blown back, and they get some sort of punish, right? There's actually a way to circumvent that just a little bit. So as you see here, I'm just trying to hold backwards. I can't recover too quickly. If I try to jump, I can't recover too quickly. But there is a way to recover mildly quickly from this, and that is by special canceling it, because yes, you can special cancel it. So not immediately, you still have to go through a bit of the recovery, but you can cancel the end of your recovery into a special move. And timing will be different character to character depending on your move, right? This is definitely favoring moves that are faster. Moves that are slower, there's not really much benefit. As the benefit here is you're trying to have the person who's trying to poke you back here, you know, after you got blown back here, because they're trying to get their punish on you, right? You can actually interrupt their punish if your special move is fast enough, or if they're just a little bit slow on the draw. Once again, if a move is particularly slow, like say this move right here, if we cancel our recovery into that, well, it's not going to do us much good because the move takes forever to start up anyways, and we're still going to get hit by that punch, right? But if you are in that situation where you're looking to just kind of steal your turn back here, if you know they're going to hit a button, then this is the way to go for it. Now, with that all said, keep in mind, basically every special move in this game, with a couple rare exceptions, is also death on block, just like, you know, your big blowback here. So if they are just a little bit patient and block the next move, they're still going to get their punish anyways. But still, it is an effective technique for trying to steal turns back when, you know, you made a boo-boo and you don't want to live with your mistakes. For our final tip here, I do want to harp on the importance of the parry here. So this is a very short window move, but if you manage to correctly call out the enemy's attack, as you see here, you'll blow them back, and from that blowback, you can kind of just hit them with whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, right? And this could be from a heavy attack, could be from a light, doesn't matter. As far as I can tell, the distance is the same. And to the point here, like as you can see here, I have the enemy set to block moves. And if I parry them, I can get my super special off. Even that was a parried light, by the way, right? So even with the light attack, with the parry, I can still get my super special off. And as you can see, you know, that's like what, 1-2 points of damage? No, obviously that's a lot of damage, right? So if you manage to get a parry off, you basically guarantee yourself a super special, barring really rare edge case situations where you manage to parry like normal, that's very long range from like over here or something like that. You can't parry every move, just so you know. Many specials can't be parried. Most specials, in fact. Many jumping attacks, you know. I believe there's a couple lows you can't parry, especially stuff like kicks, right? Because there's no weapon to deflect. But the rewards are fantastic. Even if you don't have your super special on dock, say you botch it and you whiffed it earlier in the game or whatever, you can still get like weapon flip supers guaranteed, or just even a basic stand heavy and get a lot of damage like that, right? There's so many good potential punishes you can get. The thing is, the window is quite small, so this is less a reactionary move rather than a player read. So you kind of have to know they're going to hit that button and go for it, but if you know they're going to hit that button, that is pretty much a round-defining move, and you'll take yourself a very large step forward towards winning the game if you get it. And that is it for the tips. So I hope they worked out for you, and I hope I taught you a couple things about the game you might not have known. I do have several other videos, once again, on Samurai Shodown on the channel if you want to check those out, beginner's guides and just how a lot of the mechanics work, and those are at the end of the video if you want to give that a check out. But anyways, that is it for me, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Samurai Shodown.